the man never expected. After failing to defeat the final boss, he only wanted his teammates to leave first. His stamina was completely drained, and he was prepared to die. But the demon god used life drain on him instead. As long as he was hit by someone's magic once, he could instantly learn and perfectly replicate it. So once he mastered it in return, he immediately unleashed a furious drain on the demon god, until he drained all of the demon god's life. He was fully revived as well, because life drain gave him infinite replenishment. He believed fighting for another 6 or 7 years wouldn't be a problem, and it turned out he was right. He continued fighting endlessly in this place. He had lost all sense of time. When tired, he cast puppet manipulation on himself, so even while asleep his body could move on its own. By the time he realized, he had already wiped out all the minions. But coincidentally, the Demon King they had once greatly injured had fully revived. Clearly, the Demon King had been recovering all this time, although he no longer had teammates. 10 years of slaughter had erased all fear from him. He mindlessly unleashed a furious drain on the Demon King. But after all, it was the Demon King's own skill. How could he not have a defense against life drain? This immediately put him in danger. But as an S-class mage, he also had countermeasures. Let's see if the Demon King could withstand his two-pronged attack. Once everything settled down, he could finally leave this dimensional space, because the Demon King's life force was too powerful. It caused his body to regress by 6 or 7 years, and the first thing he did after leaving was to look for his old friends. He wanted to see how they were doing. Although the capital had changed greatly, he could still find the place by memory, because his clothes were too shabby. Kind people gave him a set of clothes. Soon he found Golan's home, but unfortunately, he had no appointment. The butler refused to let him in, even though he gave his name. But too many people had tried to approach under false pretenses, so the butler didn't believe him. Thus he had to leave empty-handed, since his ID was burned during battle. He planned to reissue it at the Adventurers Guild, but on the way, he found a statue. It hadn't been there in his memory, but it looked quite impressive, only slightly inferior to him. But after asking around, he learned it was of the hero who stopped the demon army 10 years ago, the great hero who saved the world. Indeed, that person was him, but no one knew who made the statue. It looked nothing like him, but from this, he could guess that the world believed he was dead. Soon he arrived at the Adventurers Guild, but coincidentally, the Golan he was looking for was right there. Though they hadn't seen each other in 10 years, he immediately recognized Jack, and hugged him tightly, leaving everyone else stunned. Since he hadn't eaten for 6 or 7 years, Jack ate ravenously. Although life drain could replenish energy, his stomach was still empty. But after stopping eating for so long, he couldn't eat too much solid food. So Golan had someone bring rice soup, but unexpectedly, the one who brought it turned out to be their other teammate. It was because Golan had informed him, and he came over crying with snot and tears. The two older men surrounded him, crying together. The handsome men of the past had grown old, but Jack hadn't. Instead, he had become younger. When they learned Jack had drained the demon god's life force, they were instantly stunned, and realized he had defeated the demon god alone. Back then, they had only gravely injured him, but didn't have the power to kill him. To prevent his return, the kingdom had been expanding its military for 10 years.
その魔人王を倒していたとなれば、何らかの報奨を与えなければ。そうだな、エリック王。エリック王？
Because of their achievements in defeating the demon god, both had risen to great heights. Eric had become the current king, and Golan was the guildmaster of the Adventurers Guild. As Jack rejoiced for